Activist in jail for 7 years on trial, Supreme Court steps in to hasten proceedings from New Delhi. Supreme Court Wednesday said it would pass an order to expedite proceedings against lawyer activist Surendra Gadling in the 2016 Surajgarh arson case after he pressed for bail on the ground that he had been in jail for 7 years without trial and there is also no judge in a special court to hear the matter. The bench of Justice J.K. Maheshwari and Vijay Bishnoi said it will talk to the Chief Justice of Bombay High Court for the appointment of a judge and pass an order to expedite the hearing. Senior advocate Anand Grover said the activist is in jail for 7 years and proceedings in the case are not moving forward as video conferencing facility is not working and there is no judge to preside over the special court. Though he said it was a fit case for bail, the bench said it would fast track the hearing in the special court. As the case is based on the same set of evidence that is being used in the Koregaon Bhima Elgar Parishad case, the evidence, including documentary and digital, have to be brought to the trial court in Gadchiroli from the NIE court in Mumbai. But Grover said the evidence has not been placed before the court concerned. Supreme Court said that it would pass an order for bringing the evidence and would grant 1 month to both the prosecution and the accused to examine the evidence and argue the case for framing of charges. The senior advocate said the liberty of his client was being violated, which is a serious matter, but Supreme Court was not inclined. And the lawyer then asked the bench to allow him to press for bail after a month. Navy Bell developed AI software for unmanned vessels from New Delhi in a big boost for the country's maritime capabilities. Indian Navy R&D Wing Weapons and Electrical Engineering Systems Establishment in collaboration with Defense PSU Bharat Electronics Limited has developed an indigenous software that enables the operation of vessels without crew or unmanned surface vessels. The groundbreaking software suite called Advanced Autonomous Navigation and Control Software allows the Navy to conduct autonomous operations at sea using unmanned surface vessels. Men arrested in 2016 broadcast from Dehradun, Delhi, from New Delhi. News from New Delhi, the crime branch of Delhi police had arrested an absconding accused wanted in a murder and robbery case from Dehradun. Officials said on Thursday the accused, identified as Aman Mukhwana, 26, five traffic offences in a year to bar you from driving. Supreme Court allows Hindus and Muslims to offer prayers at Bhojshala on Basant Panchami. Congress welcomes Supreme Court's verdict. Gopal Wadhar, the opposition Congress on Thursday welcomed the Supreme Court's verdict of permitting both the communities, Muslims and Hindus, to offer prayers at the disputed Bhojshala From New Delhi, the Supreme Court has allowed Hindu prayers from sunrise to sunset on Vasant Panchami on Friday at the disputed Goshala Kamal Mola Mosque in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar district, while permitting Muslims to offer namaz from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the day. Opportunity for great powers to join forces. German Chancellor says from Davos. Days before the signing of a free trade agreement between India and the European Union, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz on Thursday said the era of great powers presents an opportunity for countries favoring regulations to join forces against protectionism and isolationism. In a special address at the World Economic Forum annual meeting here, the Chancellor said he wants high growth in Europe and will do everything possible to achieve that. In a few days, the President of the European Commission will travel to India to establish the principles of a free trade agreement between the subcontinent and the European Union, he said. I was in India a week ago and I have no doubt whatsoever that the era of great powers presents an opportunity for all of us and for all countries that favor regulation above arbitrary rule and see benefit in free trade than in protectionism and isolationism. The Chancellor said that EU is joining forces with new partners in this direction. He also referred to efforts to finalize trade agreements with Mexico and Indonesia. On Tuesday, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said here that the European Union is on the cusp of signing a historic trade agreement with India, which is being called the mother of all deals, and it will create a market for 2 billion people, or about one fourth of the global GDP. She said the deal would crucially provide a first mover advantage for Europe, with one of the world's fastest growing and most dynamic country. Europe wants to do business with the growth centers of today and the economic powerhouses of this century. The two sides are set to announce the conclusion of negotiations on the much awaited free trade agreement at the India EU summit on January 27. India pitches up to $350 billion clean energy opportunity to global investors at Davos from Delhi. India used the World Economic Forum 2026 in Davos to make a direct pitch to global investors, positioning itself as one of the world's largest and most investment-ready clean energy markets with an estimated 300 to $350 billion capital requirement by 2030, according to an official statement on Thursday. Leading India's outreach, Union Minister for New and Renewable Energy Prahlad Joshi said the country's energy transmission offers speed, scale, stability, and long-term returns at a time when global investors are seeking predictable growth opportunities. Speaking across multiple sessions and investor meeting at the World Economic Forum, Joshi highlighted that India has already built 267 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel capacity and is firmly on track to meet in 2030 clean energy targets. India's base rests on affordability, reliability, and energy security. Rapidly falling renewable tariffs, grid modernization, and competitive storage and green hydrogen prices have made clean energy central to India's economic growth strategy. The minister stressed that India combines large demand with policy certainty, a growing manufacturing base, and strong state level execution. Key factors required for attracting long term global capital. During bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the phone, Joshi engaged with global investors and energy companies to explore investments in the renewable energy sector, including for green hydrogen linked infrastructure. Stronger India EU ties will de-risk world economy. EM said focus on rising uncertainty in global affairs from New Delhi. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Thursday emphasized that stronger India-EU relations will de-risk the world economy by cooperating on resilient supply chains and stabilize the global order through stronger trade, mobility, and security partnerships. Jaishankar met and interacted with ambassadors from several European countries and discussed the current global situation. In a post on X, he said, pleased to interact with the ambassadors from EU countries today. The discussions focused on the growing uncertainty in global affairs. Spoke to them about the current state of the world with volatility and instability as the new normal. He added, Jaishankar also underscored the importance of deeper India-EU cooperation, medicates for stronger India-EU relations that will de-risk the world economy by cooperating on resilient supply chains, reassure the international community by providing public goods like SCDR, anti-piracy operations, development projects, etc., and stabilize the global order through stronger trade, mobility, and security partnerships. Referring to upcoming high-level engagements, the External Affairs Minister noted that members of the European Parliament would be visiting India around Republic Day, and he looks forward to the visit of European Council President Antonio Costa and European Commission President Ursula von Smriti-led Gender Alliance creates buzz, attracts funds from Davos. Vaishnav says from Davos, India open to partners across economic spectrum, leading leading a strong India delegation at the World Economic Forum annual meeting. Senior Minister Ashwini Vaishnav on Thursday said the country has given a clear message about its willingness to partnerships across the economic spectrum, and the country commands a strong resilience against global debt worries. In an interview with PTI here, the minister also said that all 10 states present here have very effectively showcased their potential as per the mantra of cooperative and competitive federalism given by President Modi. India's message here is very clear on how the Prime Minister has transformed and opened the Indian economy in the last 11 years. This time message is partner with India and subscribe to the future, he said. The minister said India has also told the world that it is open to ideas as well, be it semiconductor industry, AI manufacturing, green energy, or any other sector we want to partner with the world everywhere, he said. On participation by as many as 10 states, he said, all states are working hard, and when states develop, the country automatically develops. The experience Prime Minister Modi had at the state level is benefiting the entire country now. Smriti-led Gender Alliance creates buzz, attracts funds from Davos, aiming to set a USD 100 billion bond to help 1 lakh women own small businesses across India. Former Indian Minister Smriti Irani has garnered USD 2 million in just 2 days here. Speaking to PTI at the always buzzing will land long elite launch, which may here refer to as Tulsi launch, after her famous screen avatar Tulsi Irani said she got an opportunity under Prime Minister Modi's leadership to become the first gender minister in 2024 and leading Indian delegation to Davos. It was the same year that the Alliance for Global Good, Gender Equity and Equality was launched here in partnership with CII and the Gates Foundation with the World Economic Forum as its network partner. Now attending the WEF annual meeting for the second straight year as founder and chairperson of this alliance, Irani shared the idea behind bringing the issues of equality, parity, and gender to the streets of Davos was that they also must make economic sense for greater impact. That's why in the past 2 years, at least in Davos, we have not only engaged with 21,000 international delegates, but we have also helped to create examples in Indian manufacturing terms which can be replicated the world over, especially for servicing the needs of women, she said. She said the Alliance had begun working in areas such as curbing maternal mortality. I will also be mindful that the Prime Minister's agenda is to help small businesses and particularly women who own small businesses. We have launched an ambitious program called SPAR, spanning around 300 cities in India. With the intention of helping 1 lakh women-owned businesses, we are looking for commercial capital, and our ambition is to set up a USD 100 million fund to help bring commercial success to these women-owned small businesses. I'm happy to report that in the past 48 hours, I'm happy to report that in the past 48 hours, we have managed to garner USD 2 million for such women-led enterprises in India, she said. Irani head Prime Minister Modi has also been vocal about the need to take the traditional medicine systems of India to global platform. I'm extremely proud that this alliance has become a platform for launching a USD 40 billion investment into women's wellness for hormonal health, bone health, and brain health of women in our country based on Ayurveda practices, she shared. This investment is in the field of nutraceuticals for women and it will be made in India, she added. On the new law providing reservation for women in the legislation, Irani said this is a historical move which brings about equal capacity and abilities between men and women to serve our country better. I honestly have to profess that in my entire political journey, I never imagined there would come a day when I would be there in the Union Cabinet. The fact that I have been part of that history makes me feel extremely privileged, she said. She said it is now incumbent on us. It is now incumbent upon us as people and citizens to ensure that we highlight to the political ecosystem in our country the women of potential or those who have already served in larger public spaces asked about her return to TV screen. Irani said it was an experiment. I had a legacy of 25 years and not many TV and political personalities can have two successful conversations, ambitions and careers that can go hand in hand. Asked whether there could be more in the offing, she said, comes with Iran always expect more. I'm very blessed that I could create legacies in two different fields. Thank you.